Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee, the radio show where we talk about it all. Hey, welcome to Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee. With me are my co-hosts, Kevin Eaton.
Good morning, Baltimore and beyond.
And Angelo Superstar Barbara Richardson.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Lovely.
Woo, boy, how'd you do with that snow that we had?
Did a lot of digging.
You did a lot of digging? I did a lot of
shoveling.
sliding, y'all.
Yeah, it was a lot of snow. Yep.
On the air, we have Dr. Lisa. Hi, Dr. Lisa.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year and good morning, Baltimore.
Oh, good morning. Happy New Year to you as well.
Happy New Year, Dr. Lisa.
And we also have Jimmy.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi,
Good
Jimmy.
morning, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Good.
Jimmy, have you recovered from last week's show?
Somewhat.
Just somewhat?
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, we always enjoy it. In case our listeners don't have a clue of what we're talking about, last week the topic was open marriage with Renee. Renee visited us again via phone and talked about her open marriage. And Jimmy had so many questions that he wanted to ask her. It was a very interesting conversation that we had with her. And for those of you who didn't have the privilege of hearing her first interview with us. She is in an open marriage with her husband, and she and her husband actually have a contract. And they go out the exact same weekend together, apart from each other, but they both decide on a particular weekend, and they go out with their lovers.
Right.
And then they come back and resume life as usual. And this is something that has been working for them for years.
Right.
Very interesting.
It's very,
We had
very
callers
interesting.
come in, and one of the callers was talking about how bad it was. And then we had another caller come in and talk about how good it was.
Oh my God! And what about the whip appeal? Okay, Charles brought up the whip appeal. And Sandra called and she kind of got in on that too. She was like, "Yeah, what about if one of them put the whip appeal on you? Then what?
Yeah.
What do you do?"
Right.
But Renee seems to have it pretty much under control. You know, and my concern, a question that I asked her was, what do you do when your husband comes back and he's trying new things? How do you feel about that? And she said, "Hey, we welcome it."
She was like, yay, yay.
Yeah, she was like, "This is a great thing." I'm thinking, what? That would bother me, So, but to each his own.
To each his own.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. It takes all of us to make this world go around.
Oh, it takes a lot of people, and it works for them,
Yes,
and the way I look at it is, with most couples, especially couples who've been together for long periods of time, one or the other has snuck out at some point or another. So at least with Renee and her husband, they're open and they're honest with each other. There are no surprises, and hey, it works for them. So what makes any one situation any better than the other? If you're in a relationship with one or the other is slipping out, what makes it any different than what Renee and her husband are doing, except that they're being honest with each other? Seems to me that that's a better relationship.
Yeah, when they know about it, huh?
When they know about
honesty carries a lot of weight.
Yes, it does. Transparency.
Yes, honesty and truthfulness.
What do you think, Jimmy?
I tell you, the one thing I think about that's impressive to me, I know during back in my days of actually running the streets and stuff like that, to actually find a woman that will actually follow the rules and say if I'm seeing two women at one time, they will always show up at my house and stuff like that. But her husband actually found two women that followed the rules.
Yes. Right. That's just so hard to believe. That's why I asked Renee. I said, what would you do if one of the women just showed up at your door? Because women are bold these days, especially if he decides, hey, you know what, I'm tired of you. I'm ready to move on to someone else. It's like, okay, I'll just show up at your front door. But she seems to have that covered as well.
Wow, it sounds like a complicated relationship because marriage and open marriage seems like a contradiction.
Well, they got it all planned out.
She sure does.
They got it all worked out. It works for them. Yeah.
So I don't know what... Go ahead, Jimmy.
When you listen to her, it actually has strengthened their marriage. Because one thing she said is the fact when they come back to each other, how strong the passion is.
Yes.
And so to each his own, even though I might not agree with it, but to each his own.
Right.
Like it works for them.
Yeah.
And they just have it down. They have it down to the letter. And she has reserves, y'all. She has backup to the backup. I mean, they have the plan. Oh my gosh, Angela, what do you think?
Yeah, it's for me. It would be complicated. I wouldn't be able to live that way. But like you said, to each his own. I wouldn't be able to have backup. I wouldn't I just don't even want to be in a relationship right now.
Yeah. You said you don't want to be in a relationship at all right now.
Yeah.
Say, look at that.
Yeah.
What about you, Cap?
Well, personally, I think marriage is a specific institution. It's
Right.
specific. And specifically, marriage should have to do with the husband and the wife.
Only.
Specifically.
Exactly.
Totally.
And specifically.
That's it.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. So
Specifically.
that's
No outsiders.
no, not if
Just
you
him and her.
Now, if you want to live that type of lifestyle,
Yes.
don't get married. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring that institution into, what's going on. Live your life, but don't instill the marriage institution. Because once you do that marriage thing, to me, you've crossed,
That's
you've
it.
gotten to a level where you
Exactly.
expected to act a certain way and do certain things, and your partner is supposed to be
Right.
a certain way, and
Yes.
True.
yeah.
So what about the caller, Lynette? I mean, it's so funny because I actually ran out of questions for Renee. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've gone through all of my questions. And then here comes Lynette calling, and I started interviewing our caller.
Yeah,
Right.
she liked it. She was like, "Oh, I was gonna get involved."
She
in
gonna be the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, look out for Lynette.
Cassandra, did they originally at their marriage vows? Was that something that they were thinking about when they originally got married?
No.
Okay, so it came afterwards.
Yeah, I think they had been married for maybe 10 years or so. And then the conversation came up.
Okay.
And if I recall from the first, she was the one that brought it up, right?
Yes,
Right. And he
yes.
just went along with it.
And she actually got the idea from a radio show that she had been listening to.
Right.
And she said, let me go home and ask my husband and see how he feels about this.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he was open to it. So
Right.
And it's
Power of radio.
yeah, because I know both of them personally, and I know how they interact with each other, and they are an amazing couple. I mean, I'm not endorsing nor I'm not judging one way or the other,
Right.
but they are a very happy couple.
Right.
So anything else, Dr. Lisa?
One thing that they,
Oh.
one thing that they
Do
bring,
they
I
have
think, is
children?
interesting.
And are they, do they have children?
He has a daughter. He has an adult daughter, and grandchildren.
Okay. And is that something that's talked about, or that's just something that they do and they keep separate from the
They keep
family?
separate.
Okay.
But we did ask her the question last week.
Yeah.
What if his daughter found out or actually saw her
On
out?
the street. Right. Or a
Yeah,
family member,
and she says, pretty much cross that bridge when they get to it. She's an adult, so, she just have to deal with it. That's their lifestyle of
Yeah.
choice. Jimmy, what did you start to say?
Yeah. Well, one thing that stood out as far as your marriage and all that is how she said there is no emotional attachment to the other person. So if you're just going out for the purpose of sex, that's it.
She said she loves sex.
Yeah.
That was her reason that she gave. She says her love life with her husband is amazing. And Sandra asked her the question, about her husband. Is he older than she is? And she says yes. And Sandra's argument was, okay, well, maybe that's why you're doing what you're doing. But I can say, that ain't the case.
Right.
Because her lover is actually older than her husband. So
Right.
there goes that theory.
Right. But isn't at the same time, if you're gonna be having sex with other people, there should be some intimacy or some emotion. You gotta feel something to want to be with this person.
And I'm sure that she has feelings. She likes him a lot. But what gets me is the no kissing thing.
Oh yeah, because you got to do that now.
But she says you don't have to.
Yeah, you got to do that now.
She says no. She said there are other things that you can do for foreplay other than kissing, because kissing kind of brings feelings over
Right.
into it.
See,
Well, can I ask, this is going across to the religious side. Are they Christians? I mean, is this a part of their religious beliefs, or this is outside of what they practice, or they don't practice at all?
Good question. I don't know what their religious beliefs are.
right.
Okay.
Jimmy, did you have anything else?
No, I still the bottom line for me is if it makes the two of them happy and everything work out and everybody's approval of it, hey, who am I to judge?
Right.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Because what gets me, I keep going back to that though, the backup to the backup. And I gave her the scenario. I said, what if this man enters your life and he's just everything. You know what I mean? He's well to do, he can help you build your wealth, and he's just amazing. And only thing he asks of you is to end your relationship with the other guy. You know, and it took me asking her that question 3 times before I finally got the answer. You know, and basically, she would not be forthcoming with him. You know, she would make him think pretty much that she ended the relationship with the guy on the side and continue a relationship with him. I don't know. On the line, we have Travis.
Isn't always good for us.
Oh, we have Travis on the line. I'm sorry, Travis. What is your comment?
Yes, no disrespect, but I mean, when you got married, you know, when people get married, that is a sacred vow.
Right.
And I think it's a bunch of foolishness. See, this is not a case of I'm happy. You gotta look at it from if a psychologist looked at this is a case of low self-esteem. Because there's no way in the world I'm going to have a good-looking woman that I'm married to, and I'm going to go out and have sex with another woman.
Right.
That is a bunch of foolishness. You cannot feel happy about yourself driving down the road to another woman's house, or a man going to another woman, a woman going to another man. You can't feel happy about that and think that that's good. I mean, do they have kids?
No, they do not have kids together, no.
So what happens when they have kids?
With her answer to everything is we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
It seems to be that. Yeah.
That's a crime shame. And someone says, none of my business. Yes, it is some of your business. Because they have diseases out here that you can wear a condom. It doesn't even matter. HPV. My mother is a nurse. She knows a lot about this kind of stuff. They have diseases out here where you can wear all the condoms you want. You can still get a disease. So these people that's going out here swinging and swinging this and swinging that and having an open relationship, they really need to think about their life. Because you can still get diseases. Condoms can break. And if that person got HIV, ain't nobody going to tell you they got HIV/AIDS. So, I mean, I think, okay, you got to also think, if this man is sleeping with her, who else is he sleeping with?
And that doesn't matter to her as long as he protects himself.
Yeah, but condoms tear a break.
But you know, the same thing applies to, not that this is any better or any lesser of a sin, but the same thing with married couples where one is stepping out on the other. You know, I'd much rather know. So if I know that my man is out there, but no, I didn't say all. I never say all. Okay? But if that man is stepping out on that woman and she doesn't know, she's not going to protect herself when she is intimate with him. But if she knows that they're in an open relationship, okay, well then it's her choice whether to use protection with him or not. But that choice is taken away from her if she doesn't know that he's out there.
If you're not going to respect your partner, then you shouldn't get married.
Well, they are respecting each other.
No, they're not respecting each other.
Why?
You may think they respect each other.
Well, but they're being open and honest with each other.
No, they're not being honest with each other.
How do you figure?
They're having sex, and they don't know what that other person may have. And if that condom just choose to break, because no condom is HIV, HPV, syphilis, whatever sexually transmitted diseases out here, none of that is condom proof. If it gets a disease out here, she's going to be very embarrassed when it comes time that she has to go to the hospital. They tell her that she got something.
But that is her choice. The choice is taken away from you when you don't know what the other person is doing.
Right.
You know, and if the person that he's seeing has a disease and isn't honest with him, then that's something that they have to deal with. But we're talking about honesty between the husband and the wife.
I don't think that she feels good. I don't think he or she feels good about themselves anytime they're going to step out of their marriage and go down the street with another person. Because if your house is happy, you're going to stay at your home. And you're not going to get caught up into someone else's home. You're going to stay in your home, and you're going to please your home, and you're going to make love to your husband, to your wife. There's no need to step out. This is a case of low self-esteem.
It sounds like she does all the above, though. You know, she makes love to her husband. You know, she keeps her home intact, and I don't know.
If she felt good about herself, and if he felt good about himself, there'll be no reason for an open relationship. Someone's not happy in a relationship. Those two are not happy in a relationship. Maybe the sex is not good. I don't know.
She said it's amazing.
You're not going to be with someone else. You're not going to be having sex with another man or another woman if your household is the bomb, and if the sex is the bomb, and your relationship is about. Some people
Or if there's the whip appeal.
And the whip appeal.
Ooh, there you have it.
And some people get married for stupid, and then when the marriage don't work out, they want to go down the street to someone else. Like I said, I know people that's been married for 40 years ain't never step out of their marriage because they understand communication is the best thing, and they love each other, and they marry because they love each other. If more people would love each other and care for each other, there'll be no need for cheating, and there'll be no need for monogamous and all this foolishness is out here.
But how do you know that they've been married for 40 years and one or the other's never cheated on the other? I mean, the same case with Renee and her husband. The people on the outside, family members and all, they don't have a clue of what's going on. As far as they know that they've been happily married for 15 years.
I've talked to a lot of people who've been married for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and their relationships are wonderful, and they are not even thinking about going outside the marriage because they love each other. Too many people get married because he's handsome or she's fat to death, he got some money, he got a car, a house. No, you get married because you love that. After you're courting and dating, because I'm in that situation of courting and dating, when you court and you date somebody, you're getting to know that person. You're getting to know the ins and the outs of that person. And you marry that person because you love them. You never marry a person because they got a nice house, nice car.
Absolutely.
They got 10, 20,000 in the bank. You marry them because you love them. And that's the reason why a lot of divorces are happening. And that's why a lot of people have these open, monogamous relationships because of the fact that they're not happy. It has nothing to do with her being happy. She's not happy. She could tell you anything she wants to tell you. I could tell you the sky's red.
And anyone can. That includes Renee and everybody else.
You cannot be happy. You cannot be happy, happily married, and on a Friday night, you driving your car down the street to another man's house. You're not happy. She tell me she's a happy woman. He cannot tell me he's a happy man riding down the street to another woman's house when he has a beauty queen at home. Something's not going on in the bed. Something's not going on in the home. There's a level of lost communication there because ain't nowhere in the world, like I said before, ain't nowhere in the world. If I married someone, I'm going home to my wife, and let's shut the door like I believe Ted Pendergrass said. Let's shut the door and get busy. I'm not going to go get busy with someone else when I got a wife at home.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Travis. Happy New Year.
Bye-bye. On the line, we have Byron. Welcome to Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Byron.
You know, I feel like this. Most people who get married aren't really mature enough to be married in the first place. That's the problem that's going on here. Now, if he's satisfying her in every which way, then why does she need to go out and cheat? Because if it's a man that's cheating on a woman, and everybody knows it, they tell a woman, you stupid for staying with him, he's cheating on you, and you blind to this, blind to that.
Oh, Byron, you're in and out. You're in and out. What's going on with your phone, Byron?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me stop moving near the balcony.
Yeah. Come on now. We want to hear every word you have to say.
When a man is cheating on a woman, her girlfriends go, "Oh, why are you with him? You know he's a dog. He's cheating. You know." She's like, "I gotta see it for myself." So they want her to leave him. So what is the difference between knowing and not knowing? It's still cheating. And I feel like this. I don't want to go from a religious aspect because back in Africa we had several wives, so we adopted the European way. So I feel like it's crazy because when you use sex as a play toy, you're going to be the one who's going to be hurting at the end because what you're doing is you're devaluing people and you're devaluing the beauty of sex. Sex is a beautiful thing. When you take it and use it as a play toy and you use people just for sex, you are devaluing yourself and people.
Yes.
Trust me, I've been there, and you're going to pay for that.
Yes. But, she's not cheating.
No,
She isn't cheating. He isn't cheating, because their rules are different. That's the understanding that's between husband and wife. So how are you cheating?
You got to use sex to feel good about yourself, and all you see a person is a sexual object. There's something going on in your mind you need to get straight.
So how do you know that that's the way that she's looking at it, though? She's looking at him as a sexual object. He may bring other things to her life.
She's not going to leave her husband and none of that, right?
Absolutely not. She's very happy in her marriage.
If it's not financial, then what is it?
She said because she loves sex.
Yes,
That was her answer.
Yeah, that was her
If
answer.
her husband pleases her, if a person
He pleases her.
you and you have everything, you're not going to cheat. I don't care what nobody says.
It isn't
You
cheating.
don't have any reason.
It isn't
Why you
cheating.
take a hot dog when you got a steak at home?
Oh,
Well, maybe you want a hot dog and a steak.
No, she needs to grow up and realize that, stop using people just for sex because people are more than just sex.
Yes.
true.
Okay. Well, thank you for your comment.
Thank you, Byron. Happy New Year.
Okay.
I love this show.
I tell you, if you'd like to contribute to the conversation, please give us a call at 410-481-1010 or 1-877-704-1010.
Can we get her in here?
You know, Renee?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe we can put a mask on or something.
We're going to have to do something. Bring her and Lynette. How about that? Because I like to bring Lynette in here, you know, because she was like, I wish my husband would agree to something like that. I would love to do that.
Give them a little masquerade mask.
It sounds like what everybody is getting into is a scripture in the Bible where it says every man did what was right in his own eyesight. That people are making up their own rules and are deciding for themselves outside of society what makes them happy,
Right.
and doing what they want to do as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm all for that. I am all for that. You know, so many people are in relationships where they're lying. So to me, that's cheating. When you're lying to the person that you're supposed to be the closest to.
Right.
You know, she and her husband, they're open, they're honest with each other, they're very happy. So who am I to say one way or the other? If given a choice for myself, I'd much rather be in an open marriage than to be in a marriage that I think that is monogamous, and I'm keeping myself true to him and he's keeping himself true to me, and he's out there with lottie-dottie and every daggone body.
Right.
Okay? You know, we were supposed to... Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy.
One thing, if you listen to her very closely, she is very, very much in love with her husband.
Yes.
And then they are not swingers. They don't fit the definition of somebody swinging, going around every day. You're talking about a rendezvous that she's actually, her and her husband is having once a month.
Yes.
And one thing that she said, if the guy that she is seeing or the woman that he is seeing get an emotional attachment to either one of them, it's over with.
Yes. Yes. They're shutting it down.
Exactly.
And moving on to the next.
That shows that even the guy that she's seeing on the side, there's no emotional attachment.
Yes.
And the marriage itself is based on emotion.
Yes.
And so if someone can just walk away like that, that shows the outside person there's no emotional attachment. Their sole purpose is sex. Hey, and evidently it's working because she's still that much attractive to her husband. And I'm willing to bet you that when she do come back to have sex with her husband, it's totally different. And that's where the emotional aspects kick in.
She says it's better.
Yeah, I can believe that.
After they've had their weekend rendezvous, they get back together, and it's amazing. It's off the charts, is what she says. On the line, we have David. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Cassandra. How are you?
Good.
So I wanted to talk about the open marriage. This is actually Dr. Pulley.
Hi, Dr. Pulley.
Right.
He's our soulmate doctor.
Right.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this.
So, you know, I heard that the topic of the open marriage, and I think it's an interesting topic, but just wanted to give, from the soulmate perspective, although it works for certain people, it definitely does not coincide with that particular topic. And I often hear people say that they fear that there isn't a soulmate out there. So that's one of the things that leads them to the open marriage. But I guess I was curious as to one of the things that motivates people to choose that for themselves.
So you want to know why she and her husband chose to do that?
Yeah, like, I guess, is it because there's a lack of belief in something like a soulmate? Or, like, what type of motivation from the soulmate perspective would lead a person to feel that that's a better choice than one and only one person for them?
You know, because Charles asked her that question last week. He brought up the whole soulmate thing. And based on her response, I don't even think she subscribes to that, the whole soulmate thing.
No.
You know, it's just a matter of them going out and having fun with other people and then coming back.
Right.
I see.
You know, if you really think about it, if a husband is in agreement with it and he goes along with it and she goes along with it and nobody's hurt, wouldn't they be soulmates?
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Because they're both
And the sex is even better when they get back together. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Dr. Pulley, answer that question.
I mean, it's a real good question because basically, I think, Cassandra, remember when you asked me about compatibility?
Yes.
So that's one of those things where two people who could be like extremely compatible, right? A lot of times that's confused or mixed up with the idea of a soulmate. Now, a very compatible relationship will obviously work well, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, remember my definition is that this person is the one and only one person who's best equipped to help you find and fulfill your purpose in life.
Yes.
So although they could be extremely compatible, the relationship could be great, no problems, no arguments, and everything goes smoothly that way, you're missing some of the deeper aspects of purpose, spirituality, and connectedness, and so on and so forth. So you can have a great relationship, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting all the depth of what's out there and what's available to you.
Okay, I can see that. You know, but I mean, what are the chances though?
What would be missing?
You said what would she be missing?
If both parties are happy and everything is going smoothly and they do what they do, what's missing?
So like you're missing
That deep spiritual connection.
Something. What's left?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would be missing some of the deeper things. Like, so for example, if both parties are cool with everything and they're getting along, and like I said, they never have a dull moment, never have really any arguments, that's all great. But that's like one major aspect to a relationship when there's really like 3 or 4. So one of the things that they would be missing is, remember, spirituality is of utmost importance. Although most people don't see it as such, it is. So does this person lead you down your spiritual path of knowledge of who you are and what you're here to do? All of those other things could be happening, but if this person isn't leading you to grow as an individual, to know the depths of who you are and what you're here to do, and you're doing the same for them, then you're actually missing a huge part of what relationships are really meant to do.
It sounds to me that they have like 3 out of the 4. Which is better than most of us.
That's not happening.
Right.
It still could be happening. I mean, we was basically talking about something.
It could be. Now, if all of those are happening,
different area,
then yeah, they could be soulmates. But you know, the whole thing is like, because I'm just saying. So if there's these 4 things, and only really the individuals know how many of those 4 things are happening, the compatibility is just really only one facet of those 4 things. So you know, the closer to 4 you have, like she said, the better you are. But some people, like myself, refuse to have anything less than those 4.
Wow.
Okay, so you're still, because I can't even say you're still searching or hunting, because you mentioned to us that you know who your soulmate is.
But she doesn't know.
Yes, I do. But the thing that I'm actually praying on more recently, as I'm continuing to develop the theory in preparation for the book, is that you could have a soulmate who does all of that for your purpose in life. But it's possible, although it's ideal that people's soulmate and their spouse are the same person, not always.
Absolutely.
You could have a soulmate who helps with all the purpose part, but actually have someone else who God has in mind for you to marry.
Love it. Thank you so much for calling Dr. Pulley, and that's our theme music. We're supposed to be going over all the shows of 2015. We got some of the one from last week. Thank you all so much for contributing.
Yeah, we want y'all to know we really appreciate our listeners listening. For 2013, we love y'all.
So until next week at 11 o'clock, bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
That was not bad. That was super fast that time.
Woo! We're supposed to be talking about country stuff, y'all.
Yeah, we ain't going from there.
Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee, the radio show where we talk about it all. Beauty, sports, current events, health, travel, music, and so much more. You can reach us at info@talkwithcassandra.com or www.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Oh, we still on?
I think so.
Like that, y'all.
The following program is a rebroadcast.
What?
Their phone numbers.
What is